Turned. Hi, Mina. How are you? Okay, let's start. Let's start the class. Okay, so today I will demonstrate some of the drawing and sketching initially. Let me turn the volume off. Actually, it's bothering me. Okay, let's start the. So let me get my sketchbook, and we will go through with the some drawing and sketching basic stuff, and then I will do a quick demo. And I really like to discuss about the how to blend the colors, how to keep the how to don't let the two color mix on the paper, and we'll be talking about the how you work in the layers, like where you put a one layer, then you let it dry. I have the hair dryer, so we're gonna do that, and I will do a small demo, quick demo, so uh, you guys understand how to render a little bit cityscape, because I try to do cityscape in line and wash last week, and it wasn't enough time, and I did it really small. So let's start the class first. Again, the I want to talk about the perspective. Basically, perspective is kind of a little bit challenge, since we I didn't explain as much, but let's start. So basically, this is your canvas, okay? And if you, let's say your eye level is here, the horizon line here. Let's put this way: put the horizon line here, right? And you have to position yourself like where you are on a canvas. Basically, you're taking a picture, right? So if you are here, let's say you're standing here, your head is here, you standing here taking a picture, and you see a beautiful scene in front of you. So what happened? Your eye level, this would be your vanishing point. This is where the converging point will be here. So everything will explode from this point to you, basically. If you are here in the picture, let me, you know what? You can see better, right, Nina? Is that clear, right? The sketchbook? Okay, so let me start. I start the class already a little bit late because of some technical issues. Anyway, so here, now I'm going to shift myself up to here. So when you get here, the converging point will is get here. So everything will become exploded, or I would say converging on this point. So that's how you see the perspective when you look at something. Let's say if you are in Toronto downtown and you're standing on the street, let's say on the Yonge Street, and I put a horizon line here, there's a, and you standing here, right here in the middle, right? So the converging point or vanishing point will be here. Now, if I draw a kind of little bit tunnel, which is that's how you see things. Now, if I start putting a building, so that buildings will look like this. I'm just assuming, I'm not putting exactly what buildings are, right, in downtown, but I'm just giving you the example how the perspective will look to you as a in a theory, like what happened when you look at things this way. So here, the going. So the building will be right here. So that's how you see things. And on the street there, the sidewalk will be look like this. The sidewalk will be look like this. The lamppost, the lamppost will be one here, other one here, other one here. So as it gets closer, it gets bigger and bigger, and that's what it look like when you are in the middle. Let me go quickly put another lamppost, another lamppost, another, and this is what happening here. So as an exception, because of the in downtown, all the buildings are not in like this, but you should understand what happened when you take a picture or take a, when you looking at something, the street is straight, and that's how the perspective will appear to your eyes. This is what happening. And let's say if there's a person walking on the sidewalk, it'll be smaller if it is in the mid ground. If it is in the background, it'll be smaller than this. And if it is he's here closer to you in the foreground, that will be appear bigger. So that's what happening with the. This is a basic example of the perspective. Actually, it's nothing special. It's just a basic. But soon as you get more advanced, let's say if I'm drawing a downtown, which I did the demo, I'm going to do the quick demo again. So the street horizon line, right? And then the street is widening. The street is not straight. I'm assuming the street is widening, right? And there's some buildings here. The CN Tower here. Building here, building there. And some buildings are on the closer to you, which is up here. And some buildings are here, which is along this street. Some are here in front. Whatever is facing towards you, it'll become flat. But soon as it along the street, it will be a little bit, the shape will be changed. Some are smaller, some are is flatter. The you know. So this is how it looked like when you are the street is not straight, is widening it, but it is show this perspective. You can see that it's getting smaller, 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 and at some point it just disappears. So that point where you standing in the picture, because basically you here, so everything is converging on this point. So this is how the perspective works, and this call also a vanishing point. So if vanishing point or convergence point, whatever you feel easier to call it. And here, let me put some shops here also. Let's put a person here walking. The person here walking, near to you, it'll get bigger and bigger here, like that. There's small children walking. There's another person standing here. And if you put some cars here, right? So the cars will be look like this. That's how the cars will look like. This is basically that basic perspective. And the, if you take picture and just study the picture, see what the how the picture look like in when you go home. Just study your picture, right, with the phone or with the camera. Check, see what happened, what how things are appears when you are looking at with a different angle, or when you're standing on the street, or maybe go on the side of the street, take a picture from here and see what happened, go here and see what happened. So this is what I actually I did the demo also, the cityscape last week, and this is what it looked like, the perspective. Then let's go do a quick demo. I will explain some of those washes and how to keep the transparency. Since I have the dryer, let me plug the dryer. All right. Okay, so dryer is ready, my brush. So just a blank paper I have here. Let me get rid of this. Let me move this out of here, the my sketchbook. And let's get this here. I will zoom it in a little bit, zoom it in so you can see better here. So if I go, I want to pick up a nice the Prussian blue, and if I put a Prussian blue here, and I'm gonna let it dry a little bit, right? And I will show you how to do the let's put some more on the top. Let's let it go. Just smudge the clean water along the edges so you get a nice soft edge, right? Prussian blue is a staining color, so you have to be careful because it's not, it's more like a synthetic color. So once you use the Prussian blue, it can be very stubborn once it's dry, or it's really hard to create a soft edge soon as it's dry. So okay, so I put a mark here. As you can see, I did a nice soft edge here. Put some pigment here. There you go. So I will leave the mark here, right? I will leave the mark and let it dry. Then I will put another layer on the top of this one. So now let's get some cadmium yellow. Let's use the cadmium yellow. See, the cadmium yellow is more like a more opaque, right? It has a more the darker value as compared to the Prussian blue. Prussian blue is more transparent, and the cadmium yellow is more, I mean, like less transparent, so more opaque. So if you compare these two colors, then the cadmium red is more opaque, a little bit more opaque as compared with the Prussian blue. So that's how you tell which color is more transparent and which color is less transparent. So this is the uh, another thing people get confused, that there's a transparent watercolor itself, the pigment, and there's a when you do the watercolor. Let's say if I put a mark here, let me put a quick mark here, and I will leave this white of the paper here. So this is another way of showing the transparency of the, this is basically the color, it's, I mean the painting itself, you keeping transparent painting. So soon as you leave that white mark peeking from the from this uh, circle, so what happened, the this is what they call the transparent watercolor. If I put a mark here, right? If I put a small dark mark here and I didn't create that highlight from the white of the paper, so what happened, that white I need to create somehow, right? I will go clean my brush, right? And I can create by lifting the color. So this is another way of showing that this is the I'm not touching the opaque white, so it's, I'm creating a transparency in a watercolor, so which is fine, like it give you a nice, a very soft type of highlight as compared to this. So if I go soften the edges of this highlight, it looks much better as compared with this one. So because I have a nice white of the paper peeking from here, but I can do same thing here. I can lift the color and bring the transparency back to the paper. Let's go make some more darker. Let's put some more dark value, put some more Payne's gray here, here, here. Let's get into the color. I picked it up, right? Let's just get into the color. Look at this, how I picked up the color just from the paper, right? I mean from this circle, and look how as soon as you put a dark value around it, it looks so visible, right? Although I didn't leave it as like this one. So let's lift some more color and make it look more like a ball or something. So this is what the transparency, basically transparency. But now the third one I put it, I put a third one. Now third one, I would just go get my opaque white, the poster white or whatever, and I will go get some color from the opaque white. All right, and I will drop a opaque white here. If I don't know how to lift the color, how to keep the transparency, this is not this what they call, they said it's not right to use opaque white to create the white on the paper. So this is what happened here. So here I lift the colors on the number one, then I on the number two I left intentionally I didn't paint on that white. This is a transparent color, a transparent watercolor. So here this is transparent, this is transparent too, because I lift the color, right? I lift the color and I work with not putting a white. But this one, the third one, is not considered as a transparent watercolor because I use the white. That is the only difference, right? Or whatever you can do, you can use the white, or you just, if you are practicing uh, to keep I would say practice here first. Practice work with the and if you find it too difficult and you think, okay, you know what, it's taking so much time on me, and try just to keeping the white of the paper, just then leave it. Like for the small stuff you can get away, but sometimes it's a more. So when you have, let's say you put uh, you want to keep the big mark open. A lot of people, what they do, let me get a smaller pencil. So when they're making a painting with a flower, right? Let's put a flower here. Let me show you a quick example, right? If I put a flower here and there's a tentacle in the flower, right? Maybe let's see if it's a hibiscus or something, and a tentacle, and so people does, they go and put the what do you call that? Let me see if I have it here. The masking fluid. So if you have a masking fluid and then you apply the masking fluid on those, then you can keep the transparency of the watercolor. I don't have the masking fluid here, otherwise I will show you. So if you put a masking fluid here in these tentacles and then you paint over, what happened? It keep this space open. Once you finish and you go back and paint again, you rub that the masking fluid out of it, and then what happened? It give you a space to, the white space instead of keeping the white space. So let me show you quickly. So if I go and not painting over the flower, so I am preserving the transparency, the white of the paper, not painting over to the flower. Let's do a quick demo here. I will show you what it is. I'm using the Payne's gray again, and let's put some here. Actually, it's a good practice. You know what? A small work. Let's draw something quick like this and just paint over. Keep that flower open. Don't paint the flower. You can put a little bit more dark value underneath the flower, so it'll give you more depth right here. Let's get some more Payne's gray. Since it's wet, right, I can keep putting in, and it give me a nice small soft edges, right? It's not making, unless if I go here, see that I left the color stay here, so I can go back and put some water, which I will show you quickly. So in one demo, I mean, like one technique, I can show you more technique. So here, let's put some, spread this color here. And now I'm not painting on the tentacles, right? That's the antennas or whatever you call it. Here, keeping this here. This will give you you do the practice how you keep the transparency of the watercolor with the small stuff, instead of putting a masking fluid or any other means to keep that space open for you to use later here. So let's get some more Payne's gray. Let's get some dry brush marks also. So now I can go make this edge softer to show you what happening, because Payne's gray is very friendly color, is not as stubborn as like a Prusian blue or something. I still have a chance to play with that. I can make it the edge softer here. Okay, so let's put some more Payne's gray. I need once the watercolor get dry, it get lighter. So remember, you might have to go when it's wet. You can put more layers, more color pigment into it, so it becomes a dark color. So the value of the color will be darker here. So far here, let me do some jewelry work here, because I need these tentacles to be very careful. You don't want to ruin your hard work, because I already did, but since I'm putting a little bit more dark value, so I'm very careful. I'm doing the same thing, like, see, I mess it up with this one. So here, okay, now you can see my flower automatically. This they call it, basically this is another term which I don't want to confuse you, but let's for the sake of the class, this is called negative painting. So whatever the space is surrounding it of your subject is called the negative space, right? And whatever your subject, what you try to paint, is called the positive space. So this is another term they use in painting business, that this is a positive space and that's a negative space. So I start with the negative. I sketched it, and then I start with the negative space. Now your painting is almost done, right? So what do you do now? You want to keep that flower pink or red or whatever. Then I go get my nice pink color, put some water, get a nice wash, mix it up more, and then I will start putting into the flower, not going into the Payne's gray. So here, let's dry my brush because I have too much water in my brush, so I don't want to mess it up with the get into the Payne's gray, which is the negative space. So now I'm putting some color onto the flower. Let's get some more red color, put it in the middle because we need some dark value here in the center because I want to create some depth, right? So what I did, I actually same color I use right from the palette, and I put this in the middle so I can create some depth in this flower. So because on the middle part there is some cavity, right? Like so it like a tunnel or something. So here now there's some tentacles here, so I'm gonna keep that tentacle, not painting over. Just go with the nice touch of the brush. Keep this open here. You have to have a very good eyes if you're working on in such a small artwork with the. Now I have a color, still have color in my brush, so I'm gonna use it without going in my palette again. So there you go. Put some. Keep this open, open, open. All right, there you go. Now I'm gonna put some more red color in the middle part. Just drop it because it's still wet, right? I would just drop it, and the tentacles are because they're so dry, right? I didn't paint over. So what happened? These tentacles is stay the same. The paint won't go in because yes, if I leak some color from the leaf into the Payne's gray, it will bleed right away because the Payne's gray is still wet, right? And the color is there. But the tentacles, there's no color. It's so dry space, right? So it doesn't go into this into the small spaces where the color is. The surface of the paper is so dry. Let's create some more depth since I have a color in my brush, so I would just make some small work on the flower. I put too much color here, so let's lift it up. Make some soft edge. Oh, since is getting dry, so you can play with that. Let's go a little bit. Put some more color here and get this. If you don't like this white of the paper, you can go very carefully and take this white of the paper too at the edges of this flower. I'll show you actually. Let me zoom in and then I will show you. Here, let's get this out of here. The idea is you don't want to go into the negative space. The color is there, right? So just to show you how to keep this transparent. Now I'm gonna get some cadmium yellow, nice straight from the tube. I'm not mixing any other color in it, and I will start putting in these tentacles now and make them yellow. Carefully, just put a little bit. You don't need to put too much. So just a hint that they are in the yellow color. There you go. Now I will go get some Payne's gray and mix it up with my red color that which I used earlier for the flower. I'm going to put some Payne's gray, mix it up. So what happened? I will lose some consistency of the color itself, the red color, right? But it will give you a nice dark color of this color, right? So I will go and put some in the middle of the flower also. Create some more depth to it. Instead of keep putting the red color over and over. So here, let's get some out of here. Okay, so basically this is what all that idea is, how to keep the transparency of the watercolor. Now let me do another quick demo here. Let's erect a nice flower here quickly without drawing, without doing anything. It's just a demo. Okay, you can try that too, it's not a problem. So I will do a quick demo here which I show you what can be done in other way, right? Here, put it. Let's get the dryer. I will lift some colors because I put too much color, so I will lift some color in meantime. Okay, it's enough. Let's turn this off. Now I would go get the poster white. Make sure when you are creating a highlight with the poster color or the opaque white, this your water has to be very clean. If your water is not clean, then what happened? It not gonna work very good. So see that same thing here. I did it here, and I will do same thing here. Let's get some more water, a little bit more water because it's too dry. And I'll mix it up here on that lid itself. Not a good idea, but it's okay. And I will put another one here. So there you go. This is another way of doing the same color, same watercolor with the white. And here, let's get some more depth to it. I will put this. I'll take it out outside the flower and get this here. So if I don't have a dark value because of the space is white, right? Surrounding space. So what happens? It doesn't show. But as soon as you put a little bit dark value underneath, create the light, right? So it it shows that they are extending from here to up to outside of the flower. And let's put some dark value here in the flower. And the middle part, so it shows that it has some depth in it. They create a depth, and these, because this side is more, it doesn't, we don't see it, but the other side we see. So I'm creating a little bit soft edge. And lastly, I'll take some nice sepia color of mine, and I will erect a nice the stump of the flower. And now I go with the green color, nice green color. I have the the cadmium yellow, so I mix it up, tone it down a little bit because it's too harsh. So let's get some more yellow, nice, and then I would put some the leaves here. Just practice this. Actually, once you practice this, try to achieve, like, along with what you do, right? Like you go, you put some color and work with either way, like create the transparency with the white color or without the white color. So let's put some in the tentacles here. Let me zoom in and so you guys can see what I did here. Actually, let's zoom in. Oops. here. Let me show you. Okay, the camera is here. So this is what happened. I kept the transparency here without using, and this I use the white color. Here I use the white color, I use the pure white paper, and here I lift the color. So same thing you can do in a different ways up here. Okay, let's go zoom out a little bit here. Now same thing here. Look, I would now it's dry now. Okay, so what I will do, I'm gonna bring some other color. Let's say if I put a Prussian blue here on the yellow, here one layer, right? So as you can see how the transparent where the Prussian blue is so transparent, you can see it mix it up with the yellow color and create a little bit green color. Although it's not mixing, it just when it goes over, you can tell that the yellow color is peeking from the back of the Prussian blue as compared to here. See, this is the white of the paper, so it shows pure Prussian blue here, here Prussian blue here, but as soon as it goes over on the yellow, it shows that there's a green color. Now I'm going to do the same thing here on the Prussian blue. Let's see what happens. So the Prussian, if I put more cadmium yellow, look at this. So what happened here, cadmium yellow is more opaque, right? So what happened, it override the Prussian blue. You don't see too much of a Prussian blue, and it becomes it creates a yellow layer on the top of the Prussian blue. Instead of making it here, it become a green because it didn't mix, but it go over because the Prussian blue is so transparent, right? So you can see that yellow layer from the back of the Prussian blue. Here, this is different because the cadmium yellow is a little bit opaque. So that's why you don't see the green color, but you see most of the yellow color. That's how you work with your painting. Be careful when you, so a lot of people, what they do, they just start watercolor, right, without understanding all these information, and they just want to paint, right, like, which is nothing wrong. You want to paint, but if you have this all this knowledge, right, then your painting will uh, look much better in very short amount of time if you have this knowledge and you use this knowledge very sensibly, right, on your painting. So all right, so this is done. I hope who else is here? No one is here. Okay, so I will do a quick demo of the cityscape again without last week I did with the line and wash, but today I will do without the line and wash. So we're gonna sketch with the pencil, and then we'll go work with the pencil. Let me take this off. Paper is good, but very stubborn. That the what do you call the Academy watercolor paper? It's good paper, but look at this. What happening? It just it's so hard to take it off from the separate from the block. So I like the paper, but the it's not very good. Here, oh my God! All right, so let's keep this away. Let's do a quick demo. Let's put the paper here, and let's me where's the pencil? So last week I did the demo of the cityscape with the CN Tower in the background. I will do the same demo today because it has a perspective involved, and I want to bring the second version of that painting also. So I'm not sure. I think Neela was here. No, not what's her name? Yeah, she was here and she attended class. So here, let's sketch a little bit the street winding. Let me erect the CN tower, and then I will scale according with the CN tower instead of putting a CN tower in at the end. So I will erect the CN tower first. Okay, done. Make sure the other thing I want to discuss here, you want to make sure that you are very good on a straight line like this. Like if you're working on the cityscape, you make sure your drawing and sketching skills are good. Otherwise, what happen, you won't be able to draw. Maybe you have problem with the drawing and making these buildings and small structures. So let's put some buildings here quickly. One building here, smaller buildings, smaller. And then I will erect some building which is closer to me, which is the alongside of the street, right? Put one building here, and the vanishing point is right here. So everything is exploding from this vanishing point. So let's put some more buildings here, 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 here. Block the CN tower. And now I will put some buildings here in the foreground, which is peaking here. A little bit perspective involved. Actually, if you look at these lines, see that straight line here? Now everything will be, uh, you know, it just moved like that. So if you follow this reference line, then you move everything from this line. It will straight, then you will draw a little bit more, draw a little bit more like that, a little bit more, and like that. So this, then you will get a nice perspective this way. Let's put a building here, another building here. Let's put some straight buildings here, here. Now I want to put a streetcar here, so famous streetcar. Again, perspective. The windshield, the light, the windows from the side. Okay, and put some figures. Make sure the proportions are right. Otherwise, if you put a big figure here, then it'll be look not very good. The lamppost has to go so much up, so this clearance between the rail car and the lamppost has to be enough, so it show that it's not. If I put it here, then it wouldn't look good. So you want to make sure the lamppost is here as as compare, or you take this streetcar as a reference point and compare everything from this streetcar. So I will put sidewalk here, some shops on the sidewalk, put some awnings here. Put another shop here, building here. Again, go slowly straight, and then you move on away from this line. Maybe some antennas here in the building, some canopies here, a little bit dark value here. Okay, I'm pretty much done. I don't want to make it too complicated, so keep it simple. Some lampposts here, one lamppost here, and one lamppost right here in the foreground. Actually, when you're working with the cityscape, it looks really good. These stuff, it create more interest in your painting. So, okay, done. Right, maybe a small car here. You can erect a sidewalk here also if you want. create more interest to your painting, and it helps you to do practice for the perspective also. See that I did how I did the sidewalk. I start from this line, align with this line, and then slowly, gradually I get in because here this is a straight line. So as soon as you get here, it gets straighter, and then he spread again. Then he goes away, away, away. That's how you tell that the street is widening here and it's getting smaller, smaller, smaller at the end. Okay, so my the sketch is done. I will get some blue color, which is a mix of Payne's gray, some Prussian blue, and I will put some Prussian blue and some Cerrulian blue to I can get a nice mix of the sky. Here. Now I'll put some sky quickly. Keep the transparency. That is the time you have to know how to keep the take the flower example. Now I'm not gonna paint on the needle of that CN tower. I'll keep it separate, and I change the color a little bit. I put a little bit more Payne's gray mix in it, so I want to change the consistency of the color as it goes down into the building, the sky color. Here, let's get some more water, more Prussian blue. So practice is you have to mix enough color. So because I didn't mix enough color here in my palette, so you make sure that you mix enough color so it will cover the whole the patch on the painting where you are painting. Otherwise, what happened? It changed the consistency of the color. As soon as you mix more color, then you won't get this color here on this side of the painting where I try to keep the transparency, right? So you make sure that you mix enough color to get the one color to all that one patch, right? So here, keeping the transparency, I'm not painting over the CN tower and this building. And here, let's get this smaller here. Okay, let's keep going, keep going. Actually, let me zoom this one in. Oops. Okay, more blue color, more Prussian blue, and I will go a little bit more water to my brush. Let's get these building alone, leave them alone. Don't paint over because we're gonna use this. Next week, actually, I'm gonna do the demo in a reverse way. Actually, today we are keeping the building transparency and we're not painting over. But next week, I will go the other way. We'll do the building and then we'll do the sky later. So here, all right, one building is here. Let's keep this lamppost open. And there's a building here. So in the background, which you can see it, some little bit more lines. Just put here. Let's bring it down. Keep the buildings separate from each other so you can see what's going on in your sketch. Let's get this color here. Here, that church. I don't want to remove that church. Okay, let's put some opaque white because I put a little bit more color here to just to fix this mistake. Okay. Let's spread this color. It's kind of building some cauliflower, so okay. I don't want to do too much, otherwise I'll be working in the sky all the time, right? Now, let the sky dry. I will get some nice mix of some ultramarine blue, some Naples yellow, cadmium yellow, I would say, and I create some little bit more, a little bit brown colors, which I will use into the building in the front. And I will get some more very thin type of layer, not very opaque, more water in it. And I will not painting over these lampposts. So you can see the small structure like a lamppost and all that. I try to keep it open with the paper white. Okay, here. Now I will add some cadmium yellow to change the color of that building. Or you can do, you can put some burnt sienna or burnt umber, make this more darker, and then you can make these buildings in the foreground more darker instead of keeping them same color, right? You can go a little bit brown. Keep the lamppost open. Don't paint over the lamppost. This will basically, this is your practice. You can just go paint over, and you can use the brown color or orange, I mean the white color later on to erect these lampposts. But just try practice, initially. Once you have more control, then you can use, make it more easier for you. You can go and use the white color later on at the end of the painting. When it's everything is dry, you can use the white color. Let's get this canopy open. Right, let's put some, just a line here with the burnt umber, so I can get a nice look of the buildings. Like, just show some structure, windows. Mix more color, get the color here. Okay, so let's make this cover here. It's very easy to work I mean, erase something when you have so much on your canvas, right? So be careful, because see the lamppost, I try to keep it, but it's very hard because it's so much distraction here. There's so much stuff, so you can easily erase something very important. So you don't want to do that. You just be careful when you are blocking some colors and you're working in a very tight space. Okay, so here is done. I'm gonna get some French ultramarine blue, mix it up with the Prussian blue uh, with mix. Let's get this down here. Put some the shops, and I will use some nice cerulean blue here for the windows, glass or something, whatever you call here. Actually, what time is it? Oh, time. Let's get some French ultramarine blue. Get some a little bit dark color here and put again. See the white color? I purposely left it so I can use this white color as a structure of these shops or whatever, and it create a nice illusion that something is. It's there's a depth in your painting. Here I put some more dark value here. Let's leave this running here. Underneath that canopy, this canopy is a awning or canopy, whatever you call, is very important. I'm not going to paint over right away. I'm going to keep it for the last minute. Put some Payne's gray, and I will get some dark value here. I'm going to do it after, when I finish the painting, because that is the very important part of my painting. And these lampposts, I can go, because I have a dark color in my brush. I can just put these, and here this is the sidewalk coming here. Let's put some dark color here between the buildings. Here some dark color here, and some dark color on this side of the building also. Here, let's put some here. and make some windows. Meantime, is when it's wet, you can go and make some windows, and so it's easy to work with the wet into wet instead of get it dry, and then you start doing the same thing. And it looks good too, actually. Smaller windows on the top, bigger windows on the bottom. Keep them separate as it goes along here. It keep them separate, so it shows the you know how to deal with the perspective. A little bit dark value here. Another lamppost here. Another lamppost here. Okay, here. All right, I'm done here on this side. Let's go to the other side. I will use almost the same color on this building. Same thing, same idea as compared to here. Let's do quick because we are running out of the time. Let's get some French ultramarine, mix it up with the burnt umber, get a nice gray color, and I will start putting some dark value here on this side because I need this dark value to get this streetcar more visible. So let's put some orange color here, change the value, the consistency of the color, and start keep this figure, not paint over on this figure and the lamppost and this streetcar. Keep it open because this is the your practice, and that's how you tell how to keep this transparency open, and and helping your painting, also helping this streetcar more visible to your audience eye. Otherwise, what happen if I put a same color here, same color here, then it will blend in and it doesn't show. So let's put some more uh, French ultramarine, get more dark here, put some dark value here. Now I'm gonna get some green color, put some green color here. The buildings of the downtown, maybe the glass is green, and right, and some Prussian blue or the Cerrulian blue. You can just with the tip of the brush you can just go and create those windows. You don't need to paint over because they're so far, right? All you need is just a small just a cross edge, right, like this. But this is I have I'm trying to build a church or something building and behind, so I'm not worried about that part on the building on the farthest on the background. Here the brown color here, keeping the transparency of the lamppost. Get some Payne's gray, some canopies here. Maybe there's a church here. Small stuff, windows. Put some Payne's gray, create some windows. Some structure here. Vaguely, you don't need to be very careful. Just create something that it helps your painting. Although it doesn't mean anything that you need to create something very tight, right? So you just go put some structure here for the shops in this building, and then you erect these windows. Maybe windows here, here, here. My voice is kind of troubled me today. Some shade here in the windows, put some the Cerrulian Blue, create a drama here with the windows, I mean the storefronts. Now I'm gonna get some Naples yellow mixed with my gray color, and I will start putting these sidewalk since I have time, so I can work on the foreground. All right, let's get this. So what do? You can go paint over in between that sidewalk and keep the sidewalk open if you want. Like I erected, so I will do. So it shows, it create more interest into your painting. Let's get this done. Okay, enough. Get some water. Get some here. Keep it even. Get some little bit gray color on the farther side of the street, not just a brown. Otherwise, they will be look boring. And keep this car open. You don't want to paint over this car. Get some more brown color for the sidewalk. Clean the brush. I want to keep the sidewalk more lighter as it goes toward uh, the uh, the street. So here, let's get rid of this too dark. Actually, the draft, it dries, and there was a Prussian blue in it, and now it's so dark, you can't even get it. I'm probably gonna use the opaque white to clean it. This is the shop front. I want to make it nice, glassy type of color, which is my our cerulean blue, beautiful, sweet, cool blue. Okay, all right. Now I'll go and get some Naples yellow, mix it up, and now I will start working on the CN tower and the background. Get the paint out of the brush because it was too much water, so I took it out. Now that's a tricky part. Just put a little bit burnt umber at the edge. What happened? The color I already put it will smudge with this color and make a nice uh, soft edge. You don't need to do, or you can just go put some water onto the edge of this canopy, and then what happened? It will go underneath. So let's put this here. Let's put some dark value here. Erect some buildings with the French Ultramarine in the front. Okay. Just vaguely anything, you don't need to explain anything that what is this? Let's put some buildings here. Maybe this is another tower here. TD, maybe a TD building, you don't know. Let's make it a little bit greener so it shows it's a TD building. I know it sounds like very complicated painting, right? But it just, if you do something like this, it will, you know how to mix colors, you know how to work with the perspective, how to keep the transparency. People, when they do that type of work, they forget what are they learning in the process. So you are learning so many things in the one single painting that you just it's 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 amazing. Like in one painting you can learn so many things, and you will be next time when you do a painting, it's become very easy for you. Okay, here most of the painting is done. Now let's get some red color, nice, straight from the tube, and let's put on the streetcar. Keep this light not paint it over. Again, another practice of keeping the transparency of the watercolor, or keep the first layer of the watercolor. So here, get some red again and bring the red here. That's how the it looks like these streetcar. One red line here, one red line here. Okay, I'm going to take some Payne's gray, and I will put right underneath the Payne's gray under the streetcar, so it creates some depth, right? And it what happened once you put it, the rest of the color on the top, the with the red color, it will blend in. So you don't need to do so much. It works by itself. And then put some on the side also, like this. Let's get some Cerrulian Blue again, put in the windows. I put too much Cerrulian Blue, so I'm going to lift it up and keep it clean. I don't need very opaque type of Cerrulian Blue, and then I will put on the side windows also. Let's erect these side windows with the Payne's Gray. The name of the car, and then the antenna and these wires. Let's erect these wires. The all these wires with this tin, and one wire will go here because there's a pole here, right, which is out of the painting. So mix with my Payne's gray color with the here some, use this lamppost more prominent. Let's make a base of it. Let's make a base of it. This car. Let's make this car. Put some yellow here on the streetcar light. A little bit yellow. You don't need to push too much yellow. Otherwise, it will defeat the purpose, and then it will blend in to the red color. So okay, let's put some red on the side also here. I forgot the color of the what it. I think it's a white on the side, and but that doesn't matter here. Okay. Now let's put some dark value here on the side of this streetcar. Now this building, I have to do with this something with this building because it's just sitting alone with no. Let's do some with this building. Nice cross edge, like is showing there's a. Till at the end, I will show you something, few things very important. So stay, and I know it become a little bit boring because it's too much detail, but trust me, it will help you so much. And then because I can't do it right away, so it'll come at the end of the painting. Okay, let's put this here. Let's get. Okay, so see that painting is almost there. Now I will put some dark color here on the tower of that CN tower. Let's put some little bit dark color, right? So it shows the depth. And then I will pick up a nice red color, and I will put a ring on that red ring on this. There you go. Okay, so most of the painting is done. Now I will put some little bit dark color here at the edge of this window so it shows more depth here. Okay, so let's do. I'm gonna stop the demo also because it's getting too late, Let's put some Cerrulian Blue here. Yeah, let's get some. Now I can do more. I can put some figures. Let's say this. Let's finish this figure also. Let's get some cadmium orange and finish this figure. Try to do those figures with the, let's say if I want to do the t-shirt, right? I get a nice dark color. This is a dark purple color. Mix it up with the any other color and try to do the striped type of clothing. Like it shows that you don't want to blend this person in into the dark color. So give them a stripe type of t-shirt so it remains open and it looks nice and clear. And then you can do the pants, you can do dark, right? So what happened, it shows that somebody's there standing behind this, try to get into the streetcar. So instead of going putting a dark value here surrounding it, so just go keep them more lighter as compared with the surrounding value. Let's clean a little bit of this lamppost. Let's make some antennas. Dry brush marks. It works really good because I have the purple, dark purple color on my brush, so might as well use it. Underneath of this car, and yeah, that's it. I think this enough. And yeah, now they talking about some figures. Let's put some little bit pigeons here, like on the foreground. Put some one here. Let's get the, it's too much water. Sometimes you need to take it off. One pigeon is flying, going away. One is coming, you just go a little bit, create some variation, right? If you do too much, then it doesn't look good. So I did a little bit extra, so I will take this one off just by lifting color. So I don't want to do too much. Now let's get the shadow of these pigeons. So I'm assuming the light is at the final, I'm assuming the light is coming from this side, right? So what I will do, get some Payne's gray, mix it up with the maybe with the French ultramarine, get the nice light gray color. So if the light is coming from here, create some light here on the CN tower like this. It create a nice depth, like this building is creating a shadow, and then you make this building a little bit darker, this building a little bit darker from this side, and this building casting a shadow from this building. So you put a nice shadow here like this, nice shadow here. So this will help you painting like beautiful. It looks so good, So if you can do this, there's a little bit light, control a little bit light, and here this building exposed to CN tower, and it's creating a casting shadow here. Put some casting shadow. Put some here also on these buildings like this, and make these building, if you want, you can make it darker as a composition point of view. You can go and make this brown color a little bit gray color, so it shows that where the light is coming from. Here also I will put it here. Keep the lamp's transparency open. If you are having trouble keeping it open, then what do, and at the end you go and just erect with the white color, which here, let's get this white color. And I'll get a nice thin brush. Actually, this brush contains more water, so I'll keep this nice thin brush. I think it's a number 1 liner brush. So here the post of that see that there's a color I put it right, and what happened, it smudged right away because this space is not dry, so I have to spread that color. Now I put too much a black here on the cable. So what I will do, I will put a little bit white color on the top so it won't show, right? It would just keep it under control. And now this sidewalk, I don't like that sidewalk also, so I will keep this white on that sidewalk. Don't worry, when it's dark, the white color, and it will disappear because it get lighter. And these cables, I would put a little bit white on the top if you can. It looks really good. And here, the let's put it, and some wires here, some white here. The lamppost. Now see that lamppost I can erect at the end of the painting, right? Like this lamppost I can go put the white color and I can erect this red like that. You can do that also, but it's just to practice the you refine your skill. So you will be try to work with all these techniques of the watercolor, right? Here I'll cast some shadow of this streetcar. Let's get some Payne's gray. A little bit here at the edge of the light, so it shows that light is kind of coming out from the from the front, right? Create some depth into it with the dark color, and that's it. The painting is done, and let's get some Payne's gray and put a bird here. Put some bird here. Create more, maybe a pigeon here also. And the red color for this station here. So this is what you can do in a short amount of time with a smaller painting, and learn from the process. What this is basically what the watercolor is. Oh, I forgot the canopy actually. Let's do the canopy. Let's use the green color because there's very less green color, so I would use this and a canopy of this awning or whatever you call it. So now I want to show you something here. See the canopy, I did a straight line here, but if I go put a one line like this and then I would just go, so it shows this is dropping here, like there's a little bit, straight cover here on this canopy. If I do this, just drop these green lines here. There you go. So what it does actually, it shows that it's going down. Now what I can do, I can go and put some white color here, which I should do in the middle, but initially, but it's okay, just to learning. Let's get some Payne's gray, put it here at the edge. I can put at the edge, I can still create an effect of awning, like where's and the poles of the awning, just put one pole here, maybe so this is what is all about. That is the watercolor basically. You have so much information here, how to blend the color, how to keep the transparency, how to keep the perspective of the watercolor, how to make painting look more busy, less busy. It's all up to you. So once you go with this process, people tend to get scared. If I show this painting, someone has said, can you please draw, then it will scare, right? They will be like, feel like a little bit challenged. But if you see the process, you're learning so much out of one small painting that is unbelievable. This all is there in a watercolor. Keep the dark space, make that subject matter more visible, and the background, control the light by just putting a small Payne's gray on the building and where the light is coming from, create some awnings, create some more interest, put some pigeons, make painting look more busy. Keep the proportion under control by putting these figures or as compared with the subject matter, how big they are. If I put a big car here, then it will look out of proportion. The lamppost has to be so tall that the truck or whatever it can go through. So it won't be, I cannot put a big lamppost here. It's not gonna look good. So the proportion, the composition, the values, how to control the light, it's all here in this small painting. And how you keep the color, like brown, I keep the brown, then I put a little bit blue here, and I put a little purple here. So you keep the variation also, mix more colors, keep the transparency open, and yeah, this is basically it's all about. All right, let me just go closer so you can see what this painting looks like. There you go. So, oops, there you go. So let me go closer to the different part of the painting. That's a person. I put a stripe, uh, the t-shirt. I put a yellow into the light. I create some depth by putting Payne's gray on the one side of the light because the light is coming on the right side, right? And then I put a cerulean blue in the windshield, and I put a little bit dark color on the edge so it create a depth. Small car awnings, you can see that I put a stripes and create the shape of the awning, although I didn't even draw like that. So I create a little bit shape by putting a straight line when it's going downward. Put some struts. The I use the white on the lamppost, so you can do that later on. You don't need to keep the transparency if it's too difficult. And now let's go to the CN tower. Actually, the light, I put a little bit Payne's gray and I create a light, and I kept the transparency here. So it's on the left side. I create a dark value so the street car look more visible. Okay, so here I will see you next week, and hopefully it helps you what I did today, and we'll do some florals. We'll do some florals like I did today. We will be doing some hibiscus or that those maybe roses on the next week. So let's prepare for the next week, and we'll go through the same stuff over and over so you understand how all these things work. Okay, I'll see you next week. Have a great weekend, and I hope, yeah, so see you next week. Take care.